This is the driver to beat in 2019. It appears to have it all. Performance, looks, sound, technology, value, and it's already been validated with wins on tour. However, it's not quite perfect. Hi guys, it's Rick Shiels, PGA Golf Professional. If you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any videos. If you enjoy this video, smash that like button and share this video around. Share it to your golf friends via text message, email, WhatsApp, social media, so you can let them know about the review of this new COBRA driver. So this is the COBRA King F8 SPEEDBACK driver. And when I first saw images of this driver a couple of months ago, I really wasn't impressed. I thought the look of it from this side just looked a bit gimmicky. I didn't particularly like the yellow. I felt like it looked like Bumblebee from Transformers, and I was almost half expecting Ronald McDonald to come and deliver this driver for me to test. And then I saw this driver in the flesh for the first time. I took the head cover off, and like the imagery, the bottom of the driver was bright. This yellow around the edges just wasn't fitting my eye whatsoever. It appeared from the bottom of the driver, it was a very triangular shaped. It's like, not the biggest fan. Then I put the club down behind the golf ball. I put it on the ground and suddenly the whole driver's image flipped. It didn't look gimmicky. It didn't look like the bottom of the driver. It looked mean. It looked like an aggressive sports car. It looked fast. It looked like the Batmobile almost looking down on the driver. It just completely changed my mind. And that's really the side of the driver you're going to see the most when it sat behind the ball. And I was like, oh, hold on. I'm seeing this driver in a whole new light now, completely different from the bottom of the driver. I was excited to test it. So with this driver, the big story is aerodynamics, speed back and bringing the center of gravity as low as far back as possible. And COBRA claimed that revolutionary. They wanted speed back in the name of the driver. That's how important they see it being. There's two weights that are flippable, one at the front, one at the back. One is at 14 grams, so the heavier one, and 2 grams is the lightest weight as well. There is adjustable loft, so you can go up and down by 1.5 degrees, and there are 3 different draw settings that you can produce this driver in, and it comes in 3 different lofts. I've got this in the 9-degree loft, but it does come in with a more lofted and least lofted setting as well. It's got the milled face that we saw in the F8 driver, a way of them getting the tolerance as tight as possible to get the face thinner and faster than they can ever produce. So it's packed with some technology. And what's interesting is the price. So for 2019, drivers have been going through the roof. Prices are going crazy. Well, the COBRA F8 driver is £349 and in US, $449. So compared to the drivers that have already come out this year, your TaylorMade, your Callaways, it's at a different price point completely. One that shocked me. So it's like, well, hold on, does the performance still stack up? And not only do you get all that's going on with the head, COBRA is still featuring the COBRA Connect, a way of you being able to track your drives out on the golf course by connecting to an app on your phone. So I was like, well, there's a lot going on here. And then when I look a little bit more closely at the head, it definitely looks very different on the top of the head for the COBRA driver. And they claim it's the most aerodynamic shape they can possibly make. So it's almost got more of a rounded shape from the face to the top crown. These little kind of speed strips almost on the top of the go faster stripes on the top is helping with aerodynamics. That's what they claim. It's got a carbon top. And then these 2 ridges that go through apparently stiffen that carbon top as well. So that's all well and good. And it is packed with a lot of technology, but does it stack up on performance considering the price of this driver compared to some of the ones that have come out so far this year? So that's where I put it to the test. Inside with GCQuad Pro V1s, before taking out on the golf course to see how it did, let's see how the COBRA King F8 performed. So I had the weight forward at first, so that 14 gram weight in the front that gives me the best settings and in my ideal setting for this driver. So this is my optimum performance chart of the driver shots I've hit over the last 12 months. Now this is the data I was getting from the COBRA King F9. I was carrying the COBRA King F9 291 yards, so it's decent hitting, good distances, for 311 total distance. I was launching at 14.5 degrees and spinning it at 2,250. So pretty much what I like to see distance-wise. A little bit over the average, but doing exactly what I needed to do distance. Where was that distance coming from? Was it coming from ball speed or was it coming from clubhead speed? So my normal clubhead speed with the driver is around 110 to 113 miles per hour clubhead speed. I was getting 113 miles per hour plus from the COBRA F9. Therefore, getting more ball speed than I would normally expect. I was getting ball speeds of 162.5. That's some of the best I've ever seen, certainly in testing the last 12 months. It's also worth noting on off-centered hits, they performed well. I hit one low and heel. It found the middle of the fairway, and I lost distance, granted, because it was a low strike, but I didn't lose massive amounts of distance. So off-centered hits, I was pretty impressed with on the ones I experienced when testing. I also did a test where I flipped the weight to the back just to see how much of a difference that weight actually makes. And I didn't see much of a difference, to be honest. I was carrying it around the same, just a couple of yards under, but mainly due to a fraction of higher spin. I was expecting maybe to see 300-400 RPM difference in spin. I saw next to no difference in spin when I moved those weights around, so it's something to note. I also took the opportunity to test the new F9 against F8 Plus from last year, so the similar components, similar drivers in the same shaft. What was I seeing was different? Well, for me, the carry distance I was getting with the F9 was 5 yards longer than F8, so therefore I was getting slightly more total distance. But what was really interesting is the clubhead speed between F9 and F8. On the same day, testing in the same shaft, I was experiencing 2 miles per hour extra gain of clubhead speed from the F9 driver. Now, you've got to be presuming that's going to be coming from that aerodynamic shape because it was the same day with the same shaft. There's no reason why it should have been any different whatsoever. So I was getting more distance just due to the fact I was swinging it faster. So far in performance, it was doing everything I needed to do. Then it was time to take it out on the golf course. So after testing the COBRA F9 driver out on the golf course and with the GCQuad, it's got to be said it's one of the best drivers that I've tested. What I saw indoor and the distances and the extra clubhead speed is exactly what I was experiencing out on the golf course. I seem to be hitting this driver a long way. It gave me the confidence that I could swing it fast. It seemed to perform well on off-centered hits, and it sounds incredible. It's the one thing, sound can really put me off a driver. This driver is the best sounding driver, in my opinion, that's ever been made. It has that kind of crunchy, dead, satisfying noise when you hit this driver. It really does sound like nothing I've hit before. It must be a combination of all of the materials that go into this driver. I However, this driver isn't quite perfect. There are a few things that I would change. The first thing being this kind of yellow color around the bottom of the club. It just looks horrible. It's a bit garish. It does come in white, which I think definitely looks better. I also would love to see the top of this driver, as much as I really like the top of this driver, it's a shiny finish. That top of driver in matte would look sensational. It really would. And the other big thing, the negative on this is typically when Cobra bring out a driver, they'll bring out a standard version and a plus version. And the plus version will offer a few more fade settings. Well, this year, there is only one driver. And therefore, they're not catering for golfers who draw the ball or hook the ball a little bit too much. There's no fade settings whatsoever. There are 3 draw settings, which, I don't know, I feel like you're only catering for a small market, not for every golfer in the world. But that being said, for the price, and it's refreshing to review a driver that's under the £500/$500 mark. This is £349 when it first comes to retail and $449. For the price, for everything that you get, for the technology, for the fact that this driver does what it should do, and in fact it's probably performing better than some of the drivers that are already out there at £500, and it features a lot more. And like I say, I've not really even tapped into that Cobra Connect. It's not something that I would possibly use, only because I don't like the fact you have to have your phone in your pocket to test it, and it kind of puts me off. But that's not for everyone. I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate that. As a driver goes, for 2019, I would honestly put this at the top of the pile so far. This is the driver to beat. It does everything, and I honestly think it's the best sounding driver I've ever tested. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, lots more to come. That was my full in-depth review of the Cobra F9 Speedback driver. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like, and leave me a comment down below. Do you think this is where the price of drivers should sit in 2019? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.